Many things that happened in the book of Job. It says there was a man in the land of Uz whose name was Job, one that was perfect and upright, one that escheweth evil and feared God. Feared God and escheweth evil. And there were born unto him 7 sons and 3 daughters. His substance was also 7,000 sheep, 300 camels, 500 yoke of oxen, and 500 she-asses, and a very great household, so that the man was the greatest of all of the east. And his sons went and feasted in their houses, every one that day, and went and called their 3 sisters to eat and drink with them. You know, you look at this, and he has all this wealth, all of the things. And if you look down through the story, when he loses all of this. And I was looking at this because of one thing. If we lost all the things that we had, our children, everything that we had, would we be able to be looking at God the way he did? I'm going to go ahead and read, and then it says, and it was so when the days of feasting were gone about, they sanctified him and rose up early in the morning and burnt offerings according to the number of them, for Job said, it may that be my sons have sinned, and cursed God in their hearts. Thus Job did continually. Now there was a day when the sons of God came present among them, and the Lord said unto Satan, whence comest thou? And Satan answered, from coming walking up and down again. And then Satan, hast thou considered Job? There is none like him, perfect and upright man, one that feareth God and escheweth evil. You know, it says that 2 different times in this. One that escheweth evil. Could he say that of our own lives? Could he say that of your life? The way you walk every day? The way that you look at your own life? Could he say that about you? And it said also, escheweth evil. It means just get away. Get away. And you know, I said I hope I would try to do that every day. But as we live our lives, sometimes we get away from that. But it says, and then Satan answered unto the Lord, that thou fear God for naught. He always asks questions to make you doubt, to make you fear. And you know, he said it in verse 10, hast thou made a hedge about him, and about his house, and all that he had, and all that is blessed, the work of his hands, and his substance is increased in the land. You know, we should have that hedge in our life, that no matter what comes, the devil can't get to us. Sometimes it may waver a little bit, but we should have that hedge around our life. And then it says, put forth thine hand now, and touch all that he hath, and he will curse God to thy face. And the Lord said unto Satan, behold, all that he hath in thy power, and only himself, and put not thine hand. So Satan went out forth from the presence of the Lord. And there was a day come, and the sons and his daughters were eating and drinking in their older brother's house. And there came a messenger of Job. The oxen were plowing, and the asses were feeding beside them. And Sabians fall upon them away. Yet I have slain the servants with only the edge of my sword. I have only escaped to tell thee. You know, you think about things when they're happening in your life like that. When you have everything and you think everything shouldn't be going this way. You know, that's times in your life when you look to what you have in Him. You know, you look at that situation and say, things are stacking up against me. Time after time after time. And things do happen like that. And then it says, let's see. And when he was yet speaking, there came another and said, The Chaldeans make out with and carried away. Yea, I've slain the servants, and with the edge of the sword I've only escaped alone to tell thee. And when he was yet speaking, there came another and said, Thy sons and thy daughters were eating and drinking wine in the elder brother's house. And behold, there came a great wind from the wilderness, and smote the four corners of the house, and fell upon the young men, and they are dead. I've only alone, I am escaped alone to tell thee. You know, when stuff happens like that, I like what Job done. It says, behold, Job arose, rent his mantle, and shaved his head, and fell upon the ground. And he said, Naked I am out of my mother's womb, and naked shall I return. The Lord giveth, and the Lord taketh away. Blessed be the name of the Lord. You know, that should be our heart. Even though they may be problems coming around us, even though there may be things happening in our life, we should be able to bless the Lord, but that is much harder to do when things are happening around us. We should be like Job. We should have that life about us, that no matter what happens, I'm going to bless him, whether he does it, or whether he don't do it. And you know, that should be our heart. And then it says, in all this, Job sinned not, nor charged God foolishly. You know, it would be hard. I know I would have to answer the question, why? Why is this happening to me? I'm doing all the things that I need to, and why is this happening to me? I know I would have the question, Job, through all of this, saw God all the way to the end. You know, it would have been hard to have that happen to your own family. Just think of your own son, own daughter, and all of them died. That would be a hard thing to go through. And you know, you think about all the wealth that he had. He's probably one of the wealthiest men in the East. May even had a sign up there. Here's my rent for so many years. And all of that go at one time. You know, that would be something to go through. And you'd think, why has this happened to me? Why? But he didn't ask. And then it says, there was a day when the sons of God came present, and the them set them before the Lord. And the Lord said unto Satan, From whence comest thou? And Satan answered, Lord, from going to and fro, and up and down in him. And the Lord said unto Satan, Hast thou considered? There is none like him, one that feareth God, and escheweth evil, and he still holdeth fast his integrity. Although thou movest against him to destroy without cause, the Lord said, Skin for skin, yea, the man will give his life. Put forth thine hand, and touch his bone, and touch his flesh, and he will curse thee to thy face. And the Lord said unto Satan, Behold, all that he has, but I will save his life. So when Satan went forth from the presence of the Lord, and smote Job with sore balls from the sole of his foot unto his crown. And he took a potsherd, and scraped himself withal, and he sat down among the ashes. You know, he had all these things. And you know, it would have been easy then for him to say, I'm giving it up, I'm getting away from this. He didn't do that. It says, And then he said unto his, Dost thou still retain their integrity? Curse God and die. That's what his wife said. And when she said this, he said unto her, Thou speakest as one of the foolish women speaketh. What shalt thou receive good at the hand of God, and what shall we receive not evil? In all this, did not Job sin with his lips? Then he had these three friends. They thought they was going to help him with this problem. And you look about this, and they thought they were doing the right thing. They were telling him things that they thought would make his life better. But you know, if you look back to the final chapter of this book, you'll see what happens. And I've looked at it many times, and you know, one thing that I do like, there's a verse in here in 19 verse 25, it says, For I know that my Redeemer liveth, and he shall stand in the latter days upon the earth. You know, Job, with all of this happening around him, all of his things, even his wife, you know, that would have been hard to stand anyway. But with his wife saying that, and with all the things that was going on, he looked all the way to the end. You know, we don't always look that way when things are happening around us. It would be hard, real hard, for me to say. I can look to them, but sometimes it looks bleak. Sometimes we'll get discouraged. And you know, that would have been real hard, but you know one thing? For him doing what he did, he got the reward at the end. In verse, let's see, 7, it said, And it was so, after the Lord had spoken these words unto Job, the Lord said unto Eliphaz the Timite, My wrath was kindled, kindled against me, and thy two friends yet I have not spoken to the thing that was right, as my servant Job hath. Now take you unto you now 7 bullocks, 7 rams, and my servant Job will offer you burnt offerings, and my servant Job will pray for you, and him will accept, lest I deal with you after this folly. In all that ye have spoken, the thing which was right, like my servant Job. And Elias the Timnite, and Gilead the Shuhite, and so far the Namathite, went forth according to all the Lord commanded them, and also said to Job. And the Lord turned unto the captivity of Job, which he prayed, for his friends, and also the Lord gave Job twice as much as he had before. And he came unto him, and all the brethren, and all the sisters, and all that they had been acquainted before, did eat bread with him in the house, and bemoaned and comforted him over all the evil the Lord had brought upon him. Every man also gave him a piece of money, and every one an earring of gold. So the Lord, being blessed at the latter end more than his beginning, had 14,000 sheep, 6,000 camels, and 1,000 yoke of oxes and she-asses, and also 7 sons and 3 daughters. And then I'm going to skip this and say that in all the land were the women so fair, the daughters of Job, and the fathers gave unto him an inheritance among the brethren. And after this he lived 140 years, and saw his sons and his sons' sons, and even 4 generations. So Job died, be of old and full of days. And you know, you think about that. He didn't know the Lord was going to give him that later, but he looked it all the way to the end. And if we can do that in our own lives, we can look every situation and try to do like Job did. He didn't know
though there may be things falling around us, we should have that heart of Job that looked it all the way to the end. And he didn't sin. And you know, that should be our own lives. If I had them friends like he had, and they would have been telling me this, they'd been telling me that, it would have been so easy to get downhearted, get out, say, I'm giving it up, I don't care. But Job didn't do that. He just kept his sight further down the